Government has no intention of owning CL Financial, but would be seeking to have taxpayers' monies returned. This was the response from Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley to allegations that the government wants to own and sell off the company. The Prime Minister addressed the issue at today's post-cabinet media briefing. Marie Hull reports.
In an attempt to recover a $15 billion debt from CL Financial, which started in 2009, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley sought to set the record straight, saying government has no plans of owning the company.
This government, and I dare say the previous government, had no interest in running these private companies. And this government certainly does not covet these beautiful companies that are up to the eyeball in debt and owe the government $15 billion that they can pay, I hope. What we want to do is to ensure that the taxpayer money that went into these private companies is protected and there's a reasonable chance of the taxpayer getting back that money.
The Prime Minister said the government discovered that a company which was a part of the CL Financial conglomerate, Angostura Limited, has been making a profit through a company in Scotland called CL World Brands. He said this news was alarming. One of the conditions of the bailout agreement in 2009 was that the government to be appointed the majority on the board of directors. He said the agreement was renewed 17 times until August 2016. The Prime Minister also said government was advised to seek legal services for the matter.
It now becomes a matter for the court. The provisional liquidator becomes now an officer of the court. The provisional liquidator, that the government, which is being accused of wanting to dispose of these assets to their friends and so on, can't happen. Anything that happens will happen under the eyes of the court.
When asked if government intends to go to the Privy Council on the matter,
well, I want to give the assurance. I want to give the assurance to the taxpayers of Trinidad and Tobago that, as far as we are aware, the doors of the Privy Council are open to all of us.
The government has since been given the go-ahead to appoint 2 provisional liquidators to preserve the assets of CL Financial. Marie Hull, C News.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister also addressed the topic of the race card being played in the CL Financial matter. He warned against mischief makers.
Might be the blackest man in Trinidad and Tobago. So black that when I was made leader of the PNM, some of the very voices now that talking about black man company and being betrayed by black man, the argument then was that I couldn't lead the party and I couldn't lead the country because I was too black. I am of the same color today.
The CL Financial shareholders have responded to statements made by the Prime Minister on the CL Financial matter. Kirk Carpenter said he was surprised to hear that the Prime Minister did not know that Angostura Limited has been making profits through a company in Scotland called CL World Brands.
As far as the shareholders are aware, the money that was being paid out of CL World Brands was used to pay off secured debt, including payments to CIB, which is part of the government's debt. Other payments coming from CL World Brands included the group's tax liability owed to the government.
He said the total asset base of CL Financial must be looked at in the repayment of the entire debt to the government. These include Colonial Life Insurance Company, Creco Investment Bank and Home Construction Limited. Mr. Carpenter also made reference to the Tobago land acquisition. He said decisions are being made by the CL Board of Directors without the input of the shareholders.
Those assets were transferred without informing the shareholders, and to date, no valuation has been presented to us, the shareholders. It is that backdrop that has led to the requisition to appoint 2 further directors to the CL Financial Board, with the sole purpose of expediting payment to the government.
Meanwhile, Chairman of the Creco Policyholders Group, Peter Pamel, said he preferred not to comment on the Prime Minister's statements just yet.